Hey man, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you could change everything you think you know about women and relationships. See, most guys, they get tested and they don't even realize it's happening. They think she's being difficult, they think she's playing games. But here's the reality, she's not trying to mess with your head. She's trying to figure out who you really are underneath all that charm and confidence you showed her in the beginning. Every woman tests men. It's not personal, it's psychological. It's hardwired into how they evaluate potential partners. And here's the thing, most men fail these tests spectacularly, not because they're not good enough, but because they don't understand what's actually happening. They react instead of respond. They get defensive instead of staying calm. And that, my friend, is exactly how you lose her interest today. We're breaking down the most common test women throw at you, and more importantly, how to pass them with flying colors. Because once you understand this game, once you see these tests for what they really are, you'll never get caught off guard again. Let's get into it. Test 1. The emotional reaction test. This is probably the most common test, and it catches guys off guard every single time. She'll say something that's designed to get a rise out of you. Maybe she mentions another guy, maybe she brings up something from your past, maybe she makes a comment that feels like a jab at your ego. And most men, they take the bait immediately, they get defensive, they start explaining themselves, they try to justify or argue. But here's what she's really doing. She's testing your emotional control. She wants to see if you're the type of man who gets rattled easily or if you're someone who stays calm under pressure. Women are attracted to emotional stability. They want a man who can handle stress, conflict, and uncertainty without falling apart. So when she throws that curveball at you, she's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to see what you're made of. Here's how you win this test. You stay calm. You don't react. You might even smile and say something like, "That's interesting," or "Okay," and then you change the subject or you stay silent. The key is not to defend yourself, because the moment you start explaining, you've already lost. You've shown her that her words have power over your emotions. Remember, she's not looking for the perfect response, she's looking for emotional strength. Test 2. The availability test. This one's sneaky, and it trips up a lot of good men. She'll suddenly become less available. Maybe she takes longer to text back, maybe she cancels plans, maybe she seems distracted when you're together. And what do most guys do? They panic. They start calling more, texting more, trying to lock down her attention, but that's exactly the wrong move, because what she's really testing is your neediness level. She wants to see if you're the type of man who falls apart when she's not constantly giving you attention. Attractive men, they have lives, they have purposes, they have things going on that don't revolve around her. So when she pulls back a little, they don't chase, they don't panic, they continue living their lives. Here's how you pass this test. You mirror her energy. If she's less available, you become less available too, not out of spite, but because you genuinely have other priorities. You don't double text. You don't ask why she's being distant. You just continue being the interesting, engaging man she was attracted to in the first place. And here's what happens when you do this correctly. She starts wondering why you're not chasing her, why you're not fighting for her attention and that curiosity. That's what brings her back. Test 3. The boundary test. Women will test your boundaries to see if you actually have any. They'll push to see what you'll tolerate, what you'll accept, what you'll compromise on. Maybe she shows up late, maybe she cancels last minute, maybe she does something that crosses a line you've established. Most men, they let it slide because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to seem controlling or difficult. But here's the truth. Women lose respect for men who don't have boundaries. She's not testing your boundaries because she wants to cross them. She's testing them because she wants to know they exist. She wants to feel secure, knowing that you have standards, that you won't compromise yourself just to keep her happy. Here's how you handle this one. You address it directly, but calmly. You don't get angry. You don't make it a big dramatic thing. You simply let her know that whatever she did isn't acceptable, and you enforce the consequence. If she's consistently late, you leave. If she cancels plans last minute, you make other plans. If she disrespects you, you walk away. It's not about punishment. It's about self-respect, and women are attracted to men who respect themselves. Test 4. The jealousy test. Oh, this one gets guys every single time she'll mention another man. Maybe an ex, maybe a coworker, maybe just some random guy who hit on her, and she'll watch your reaction like a hawk. She wants to see if you're the jealous type, if you're insecure, if you're possessive. Most men, they either get visibly upset or they try to act like they don't care at all, but both responses are wrong. The first shows insecurity, the second shows indifference. What she's really testing is your confidence in yourself and your relationship. She wants to know if you trust her, if you trust yourself, if you're secure enough to handle the fact that other men find her attractive. Here's the winning response. You acknowledge what she said. without getting emotional. You might say something like, sounds like he has good taste, or that's nice, and then you move on. You don't probe for details, you don't get jealous, you don't try to compete with some other guy. Your confidence in yourself and your relationship should be so solid that other men aren't even a threat. They're just background noise. Test 5. The support test. This one's more subtle, but it's incredibly important. She'll present you with a problem or a challenge in her life, maybe work, stress, maybe family drama, maybe just a bad day, and she'll see how you respond. Some guys, they immediately try to fix everything. They go into problem-solving mode, they offer advice, they try to be the hero, but that's not what she's testing. She's testing your emotional intelligence, your ability to be present with her. Sometimes she doesn't want you to fix it. She wants you to understand it. She wants to feel heard. She wants to know that you can handle her emotions without trying to change them or make them go away. Here's how you pass this test. You listen. You validate her feelings. You ask questions. You show that you care about her experience, not just about solving her problems. You say things like that. Sounds really frustrating, or I can see why that would upset you. You become her emotional safe space, not her problem solver. And that creates a deeper connection than any quick fix ever could. The master key, understanding the why. Look, man, here's what you need to understand about all these tests. They're not about you failing. They're about her feeling safe. Women need to know that the man they're with can handle whatever life throws at them. She's testing your character, your emotional strength, your boundaries, your confidence, because she's considering investing her heart in you. And that's not something she takes lightly. When you start seeing these tests for what they really are, when you stop taking them personally, when you start responding from a place of strength instead of reacting from a place of fear, everything changes. You stop walking on eggshells. You stop trying to be perfect. You start being authentic. And authentic, confidence is irresistible. Remember, she's not your enemy. She's not trying to make your life difficult. She's trying to figure out if you're the kind of man she can trust with her heart and her future. So the next time you feel like you're being tested, and trust me, you will be tested. Remember this. She's not testing you to watch you fail. She's testing you because she hopes you'll pass. Master these responses. Become the man who stays calm under pressure, who has boundaries, who's confident in himself, and watch how everything in your relationships transforms. Because once you understand the game, once you know how to play it, you'll never lose again.